Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's reading. So, we're going to be looking into your animal friends today, the animal spirits with you in this realm, or if they have passed over to the other side. We're going to be tuning in and just getting messages from your animal friends. This reading has been with me for a little while now, and today I woke up and I just felt this green light from Spirit saying, go for it today. So we have 3 decks and you just pick whichever one you feel guided to. You might feel guided to more than one pile, or if you have more than one animal friend, you might want to, dedicate a pile to them, for example. So yeah, just work with this however you would like, and I'll see you for your reading. Hello, group 1. So let's see, what does your animal friend want you to know? Let us see. Grace and gratitude. Wow, I actually saw this card in my head before we began and I was feeling gratitude. So they are so grateful. Like, I'm seeing maybe you put food out for birds or for animals, or you just the way that you show up in your animal friend's life, or the way that you did show up. There's so much gratitude that this being wants to express to you, like so much love and deep gratitude. Like, see how she's this woman in the card, she's giving something. There's something about the way that you give, like the pets that you give, or the way that you show up in like a really consistent way, and you give and you give and you give. And there's something about your energy like pierces through the fog of feeling like maybe afraid. They might feel uncertain or afraid in this dimension. And you are like this very loving, very nurturing energy. I feel a very strong maternal, feminine energy from you. It doesn't matter your gender or anything. It's more just this loving, sort of motherly, maternal kind of energy where you give like nurturing and nourishment, and you just give and give and give. So I feel so much gratitude from your animal friend. They really feel like you light up a place in this earth, and it makes them feel safe. It makes them feel secure. They're really grateful for your presence, because this earth realm, like, it can be scary sometimes, right? There can be fears around, where will I get my needs met from? So I feel this sense of you've shown up in a really consistent way. I feel like maybe your animal friend did not always have this available to them, either in this life or a past life. And I'm seeing something like maybe some of you have a rescue animal, and they had a lot of period in their life that was very uncertain, that was very like they felt fogged in, like they didn't know where their next meal would come from. They didn't know if they would be safe that night, if they would be sheltered from the rain, this kind of thing, like really raw, primitive kind of survival things. And then I feel you came into their life and just have offered them this unconditional love and this unconditional warmth and grace. So the love that they feel for you is so deep and it's so pure. Like, I really feel like they see you almost as like a goddess energy on this earth. Like, they really see you as embodying the divine archetype of the feminine. The divine archetype of the feminine, where you are nurturing, maternal, loving, giving, unconditionally accepting of them. And I feel this is actually something really healing for their soul. There's something about going through being fogged in and then, beginning a new cycle with you where, look, infinite abundance. They see it as a miracle, exactly. They see it as an absolute miracle. Like, I feel like they maybe weren't expecting anything. They felt like this was how life was going to be. Life was going to be challenging. They were going to face this impasse. And then time and time again, you show them the light. You know, they were going from a place of being fogged in. You came into their life and then the light came back. Or if you're friends with animals out in nature, there's something about you provide so much abundance to them. You provide an abundance, even if you don't feed them food, although obviously animals love food, so it's helps to like kind of bond. But even if you don't bring food, you bring some essence of love that is often missing from this world. You know, animals really, I'm being shown now through the eyes of animals about how they really notice. They really notice it when people don't live in their heart space. And I've noticed children notice this too. You know, children and animals, like, they have a different consciousness. They're in a different, I feel like they're almost in a different dimension kind of thing. And they really operate from a very pure, loving place. So when someone embodies this energy and is able to meet this animal, like meet these animals there, I'm just seeing how much that lights up their world. Like, it genuinely brings light into their world. And Spirit's saying you impact the animals more than you realize through this love, because I feel your gentleness. I feel you're very gentle, and you're not pushing the animal for attention. You're not pushing their boundaries. Spirit's saying to continue in this way because the animals feel really nurtured and safe around you because you don't push their boundaries. Like, you aren't forcing them into anything. You allow them to come to you, or you allow them to just be. So I'm seeing, even if you walk into a natural setting, even if the animals are kind of like looking at you and checking you out and thinking like, what's going on over here? Even if they're not, running over to you and wanting your love like a dog might, right? There's still an assessment thing going on. Like, I'm seeing wild animals now for your group. Like, I'm feeling Spirit wants to kind of talk about quite a few different things, but now I'm seeing wild animals where just going into a space where there are wild animals, you don't need to like be giving them pats or giving them food or whatever to have a connection. And Spirit's saying this is a really important aspect of like human nature, and it's something that's often missing from the modern human or from modern humanity, is this guardianship for the animals and for the land. Like, we are actually custodians of the land, and this is something that Aboriginal Australians are really, really deeply ingrained in their culture and in their spirituality, is knowing that they have the role of being custodians of the land. So I feel like you embody this archetype that, like I said, has been quite deeply lost in modern civilization, where you embody this archetype of being like a custodian of the land, and you watch out for all the animal spirits, all the beings, all the nature spirits, and you care for them and you protect them in a way. So in a very practical way, like, I'm seeing gratitude from an animal friend that you have because of the love and the way that you've brought them out of some kind of fog. Like, you've genuinely brought them out of some kind of fog where they weren't able to see clearly. There was a fear. Like, you are a connection to spirit for animals. Through you, animals are able to connect to spirit and feel deeply loved and feel aligned to the spiritual energy on this earth. And I'm just seeing them feeling like lost in this fog where they're like, where is spirit? Where can I find this grounding or this anchoring back into the divine? And then you come along and you help that. So I see you do this in like a one-on-one way. If you have an animal friend, if you have a pet, whatever it might be. If you, feed animals or help stray cats, like, I'm seeing you just have this like kind of angelic energy to animals where they see you and they feel safe and they feel loved and they know that you aren't going to violate their boundaries. And I think this is a really important key to your energy of why I feel such a feminine energy from you, because you aren't forceful ever. You're very gentle and you're very loving, and you hold space. You hold space for that animal for however long they might need. There's really no expectation from you that they need to give you anything in return. And that's such a different energy, because a lot of the time I feel animals know they can sense motives. Like, if someone's going and trying to feed an animal because they want to trap them, right? It's that kind of energy where it's like, you're not doing it out of wanting something from them. You're just doing it from the love of your heart, from the joy that giving brings to you. And because you feel a natural responsibility to kind of be a custodian of the land, which is true and right, because we are custodians for the land. As humans, we have higher consciousness, which means we have higher responsibility. So I also feel from the like wild animals that you might meet in your life, or I see you going into nature a lot and doing some kind of energy work. You might do this consciously through healing hands or chanting or singing in nature, or you might be doing it more subconsciously without you realizing that when you take a walk in nature, you bring a certain energy with you. You bring a certain loving kindness with you, and it uplifts the animals around you. Like I said, I see them checking you out. Like, I'm seeing birds in a tree looking at you. I'm seeing worms under the ground, like feeling the vibration of your footsteps and feeling the difference in your energy and the light that you hold. Like, I really feel this all-encompassing, like, I feel like this is you. Like, you bring this light and it shines across everywhere, just like the sun does. Like, you bring a warmth and a light, and it's based in spirit's love. It's based in the love of spirit, and you hold that on the earth, and you act as like a portal even to a divine energy for these animals. So when they're around you, they really believe in miracles. And I've really noticed that animals really, like I said, they can read energy really well, like really well, right? So you might have that kind of energy where people are like, oh my gosh, my cat is usually so shy, but with you, they love you. And it's that kind of energy because they read your energy and they know you, they know who you are. So they love you, they feel safe and warm with you. So you are really, really good with animals. Like really good. And it's because you give them space and you don't expect anything of them. And it gives them the space to come to you and to be with you, right? It gives them the opportunity to basically come over and give you their love and give you their attention if that feels right for them. But, obviously for a lot of wild animals, that's not really what they are wanting. They're wanting kind of like the energetic healing that you provide the land. And that includes them. So Spirit's saying, like, never underestimate how your energy and your light, like, pours out. Abundance is pouring into your life. Again, this is how animals perceive you. It's like very abundant, whether you are providing something in an animal's life right now, or whether you are just literally walking in nature and providing an upliftment to all beings. You have kind of a miraculous energy that, again, I see the animals really noticing how unwell the human race is. And obviously we are one on this earth, like we are one. So animals themselves, consciousness has been impacted by things that have happened on this earth plane as well. Like we are one, really. I'm getting such a healing energy now as well. And I'm coming back to this card, the Empath card. Look at that. Take action with passion. I'm pulling this as well. Look, taking shelter. Exactly. Animals feel like your energy is like a shelter. And where they felt once that they would reflect and redirect their energy, it's sort of like most people who walk through the woods or the forest or the beach or whatever, the animals would reflect and redirect their energy. They would be like, okay, goodbye. I'm getting out of here kind of thing, because they're very sensitive to energy that is not based in the heart, and the majority of humans are not anchored in their heart space. And you might not be all of the time, but you are enough of the time that it's noticeable to these animals. So instead of kind of retreating away from your energy, there's an energy where they feel magnetized and drawn in, and almost like your energy provides shelter in some way. In actually quite a profound way, your energy provides shelter. And it allows them to feel more courageous. Like, I feel like the effect that you have on animals is that they feel really excited, like take action with passion. They feel more courageous about sort of being open to love. Your energy has an impact where animals feel safe. They feel like they can take shelter in your energy. They feel they're safe to, receive the offerings from you. And they really come alive. Like, I'm seeing kind of this energy again. I feel a really strong sense of you're meant to work with animals that maybe have not had an easy start to life. Like, I really feel like you would be a great person to kind of have rescue animals or to foster animals or care for animals in some way, because there's an energy that you provide and you hold where animals, when they've been abused or when they haven't really been treated well, when they're a rescue animal, they tend to really hide from people and they're not really interested in, having relationship. But I feel like you have this natural healing energy where being around you, that animal would want to come out and want to come in to your energy field. They want to suddenly show this like more passionate, courageous, valiant, courage kind of side to them. You know how animals, like once they become really comfortable with you, they become really confident, they become really loud. My cat is really sassy, for example. She's like so sassy. And that's because she's comfortable to be that way, right? So it's like something like this where there's almost a personality transformation as you are helping an animal, as you're guiding an animal, as you're healing an animal, where they start off really sad or really feeling really unsafe or insecure. And then through your consistent energy and the way that you show up consistently, they really come alive and they really start to show you and they show the world their true self. And they become really authentic and really, confident and kind of almost getting into more of like a demanding energy, because they start to be affirmed that like, yes, I deserve this amount of love. I deserve this amount of care. I deserve this amount of goodness in my life. So you're a healer for the animals. And again, I feel this group is mixed. Like I feel some of you have animal friends that are like pets. I don't know if I really like the word pet because I feel they're such more like a companion or a fur baby. Like, I don't know how you want to call it. But pets just doesn't sit right with me for some reason. Because like these animals, like I feel as well, if you have an animal in your life right now, like a pet, for want of a better word, there is some kind of a soul contract that you have with that animal. Like they are healing through being with you and you are healing through being with them. Like it really goes both ways. I remember I heard somewhere a pet psychic talking about how she believes that animals' missions are like 100% to help humans and to serve humans. And I kind of know where she's coming from, because there is such a deep element, like when we have an animal in our life, like there is such a divine reason for it. It's so deeply spiritual and divine. But I also feel like we also impact that animal's soul. It's not one direction, just like nothing really is. It's like it goes both ways, where yes, that animal is in your life to serve you and your mission and to help you to embody greater frequencies of love. But at the same time, you are also in that animal's life to help their soul on their soul's evolution. So I feel like if you have this animal like friend in your life, you are both doing mission work together. And it's not just you doing the mission work, like your animal friend is doing so much mission work as well. Like I really see that you might have, like, it's making me think of one of my friends has a guide dog, and her guide dog is like so intuitive and so loving. And this guide dog will just always know, like if she's in a public space, she'll know who in that public space, which human needs her help and needs her love and needs her attention. And she will go and give that human attention. She'll go and like brighten that human's day. And there's been so many times my friends told me like that this dog, you know, it would bring people to tears because it would bring so much love and goodness. I'm getting shivers as I think about it. It would bring so much love and healing, and it would just know exactly that person that needed that day. And it's just this beautiful intuition. So it's like this dog, this guide dog, my friend's guide dog, like she is such a light worker. Like she really is. Like she is such a high vibe being. And she's so on this earth to help. And I've like tuned in with her mission so many times. And so keep in mind that like the animals that come into your life, like they are light workers. They are doing work for this realm just like you are. And they are helping you as well to remember that purest place of love. Because the love that we have between animals and humans is so pure. Like it's so incredibly divine, because within human and human relationships, of course, there's so many other things that can get in the way. So many projections and pains and all these things. But animals really love us unconditionally. And so therefore they show us deeply like our own shadow or our own traits that maybe be less than perfect, you know. But then they're able to just love you anyway unconditionally. So the love that you have with these beings, like it is part of your mission. But as well, Spirit's saying to honor that they have their own unique mission as well. And sometimes they might be called to do mission work kind of in like a different way. Oh my gosh, there's a Spirit wants me to say it, so I'll just say it anyway. So basically, I just moved interstate, and it was like a huge move. And my cat had to be babysat for a while. And basically, one of the people that babysat her, I had this huge download that my cat was meant to go and be with her as part of like a greater divine plan, a greater divine mission, because she was helping to, like, there was something about her meeting this woman that helped that woman for her mission, like so deeply. My cat has like I always call her an angel because she has very angelic energies, even though she's, you know, a hunter and all these things, like a carnivore. But she really has such an angelic energy in her. She's so deeply loving. People always comment on this. They're like, wow, your cat, like this is the most loving cat. So I realized like I had this download because I was feeling so sad about it, you know, being separated from my cat. And also because obviously my cat does not like that, you know. But I realized I had this download. I was like, oh no, it's perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It was 100% in the divine plan that my cat was with this person, because it also connected me with this person, like that I would never have otherwise known. And, you know, like my partner and I felt guided to share sort of like a channeled message with her, and all of these things, like it just totally unfolded in this divine way. And I just felt this sense of like, if this had not happened and my cat had not been in this person's life, like it was a genuine like destiny moment. Like I feel like I'm not explaining it that well because I can't really say things because it's like private. I don't want to like share any of her details, but it was truly a destiny moment for her, this woman that my cat had come into her life, and then subsequently we had sort of come into her life as well. So there's such a deeper plan going on, and our animals, our pets, are 100% playing out a mission, like 100%. It's such a deep mission, and I feel they also have their own things from past lives, their own unique personalities. They have their own past lives as well on this earth, where they have played different roles. Like, for example, my cat, she was a human in a recent past life. She actually chose to be a cat because she had some things that she wanted to sort out, and it was easier for her to sort it out as a cat, to be a cat rather than to be a human again. Like, she had specific trauma from her human life where she was a female, and it was too much for her to go back into the human experience again. She needed to release. Like, she chose to be a cat as well because cats have they have the ability to hunt and kill prey, and she had a lot of anger from that lifetime that she needed to express. And it was the way that she could stay in the highest frequency of love while still expressing this like wild sort of anger that she needed to release because she'd had a lot of trauma things happen. So I've like deeply helped her with this because obviously I'm an energy healer and I read energy and I've channeled past lives for her and all this stuff. And it's super helped her to, like I said, become like one of the most loving cats that you ever meet. Like, she's so freaking loving. It's amazing. So all of our animals, they have their own story. They have their own mission. They have their own purpose. And it is coinciding and co-created with our mission and with our purpose. And if there ever is a time where an animal you have like has to pass on to the other side or has to maybe be rehomed for some reason, just know that that's part of the divine plan. Like, I know it's so hard when things like this happen, and I know some of you might be dealing with this at this time, but Spirit's really reassuring you that it's all part of the divine plan. And animals themselves, they are so deeply living out their divine plan. Like, there is no way for an animal to become out of alignment because they live 100% within that sort of flow of life. Humans, we have our conscious mind that can sometimes like redirect us and we get a little bit lost in our path sometimes, right? But animals, they don't. They are always in alignment. Like, that's sort of how I'm feeling it, because they have such a high consciousness of love. They're able to stay in this high consciousness of love. And even if animals get upset, like for example, my cat got angry at me because we had to move interstate, and so we were separated for a little bit with the babysitter, and then she had to come on a plane, and so she's been really angry at me since we got here, which is part of why I wanted to do this reading, to connect in with her higher self and be like, I love you still. But even when they're going through that, when they're going through that, they are still connected to the highest frequencies of love, and they are still technically loving you unconditionally. It's just their way of expressing and communicating how they're feeling and what went on for them, because they have no other way of communicating it, right? They have to communicate it in these sort of ways where she's been kind of mad at me, which I totally understand, and it's fine. So if you have a pet or an animal, right? An animal friend, companion, fur baby, whether in this lifetime or in their past life, they went through some really heavy stuff, okay? They were either a rescue animal in this life where they had, they had scarcity, they had food insecurity, they had, I'm seeing them being exposed to the elements or exposed to abusive people. Sometimes that's very unfortunate. It happens, right? Some kind of thing really like messed with their sense of security and their connection to the divine. Like I said, I'm seeing being exposed to the elements like rain or homelessness or not having enough food to eat or having an abusive owner, who's not honoring of them. I feel like that either happened in this life, or if you had this animal since they were a baby, then it could be that their recent past life, they went through some trauma, okay? They went through some stuff that was really challenging, like the things I kind of just mentioned: abuse, homelessness, poverty, scarcity, starvation, things like this. So being with you in this life is a healing lifetime for them, but it's also uplifting, the frequency of all. Like, this is for their soul and your soul. Like I said, it's always both. I don't see it as animals just serving a human mission. Sure, sometimes animals will sacrifice in certain ways for their human, and that's also part of the divine plan. And it's so freaking like, my heart. Like, when I hear about stories of, for example, I've heard of cats taking on illnesses from their partner and alchemizing it for them. Things like this. Like, I remember one time, oh man, this reading's getting so deep. I feel like I'm going to cry. One time I was going through like something really challenging. I'm not going to give the details because it's extremely private, but let's just say it was a very challenging point in my life. And I had my cat with me. And I got my period and I have really bad period pain, something I'm healing. And I was in excruciating pain, and it was just like next level pain. And I was already going through one of the hardest things I've probably ever gone through in my life, plus this pain. And I just started breaking down crying because I was like, Spirit, this is too hard. This is too painful. Like, how am I supposed to do this? Like, this is way too much. And I felt so alone. And then my cat, she came and she sat on my back. I was lying on my belly. She sat on my back and she just sat there and like lay there. And after like literally 30 seconds, my pain had disappeared. Like, it had completely gone out of my body. And I did not know how this was possible. But I just started crying out of gratitude for my cat. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, she took my pain away that night so that I could sleep, so that I could rest, so that I could be peaceful, so that I could continue fighting another day. When really I felt like I don't know what I would have done in that moment without her, because it was seriously such a low point in my life. But she took that pain away from me, and I don't know how she did it. I know she's a healer, so she's like powerful, powerful being. But she took it away out of love and out of unconditional love and peace. She gave me peace in that moment. And I'm so grateful. So animals have this ability where they can take pain away if it's necessary, if it's in the divine plan. They can help us with these things. So we're always helping each other. And I feel that with your animal being, like who you have with you, they are really high consciousness being. Like, I don't think they've only experienced lifetimes as animals. I think your animal has experienced lifetimes as humans as well. So they are like super high conscious, and they've chosen for a very specific reason, for a very specific mission to be. And I ended up telling my cat story, so I feel like it's really similar for you. This might be my group actually, but I feel like it's similar for you, for an animal being that you have in your life currently, that you have had in the past, or that you may have in the future. Keep in mind, when I do channelings, this is always quantum. It's always in the quantum field, so it could be from the past, the present, or the future. This could be an animal that is yet to come into your life still. So there's something here about they are healing through being with you in your partnership, but also through being in the animal form. They chose to be in the animal form because they can experience the highest frequencies of love without it kind of corrupting their soul. And when animals heal, again, it's from a different place. Like humans, when they heal, you know, you've done it before, you know what it's like, right? It's like all this shadow work and all these things and revelations and pain and grief. But for animals, it's different. There's just it's like a deeper sort of subconscious flow that they are one. They are one with that energy. They are one with the flow of life. And they're able to heal really big and deep things in animal form that for humans, it can be, you know, very challenging, and humans can fall into things like addictions to numb and things like this. Whereas animals cannot do that. Animals will not. They won't do that. So they're able to remain in this very pure vibration. So the animal being that you have with you, or like I said, you may have had, or in the future will have, they've gone through something in their past life or in this lifetime that you already know about. They've gone through some kind of trauma, and your connection is here to help them, is here to help heal them. And in turn, they also heal you. So it's a healing connection that you have together. It's such a beautiful connection. Like I said, it kind of is the energy that makes me want to cry because it's so pure and loving. And they want you to know how grateful they are for the space that you hold for them and for the way that you treat them equally. Like, I feel this energy from you that you treat them really equally. You treat them as an equal. You don't treat them as less than because they are an animal, because really they are not. They are not less than us, ever. All right, group one. That is the end of your reading. What a beautiful connection to animals that you have, and continue doing this beautiful work in the world. If you would like to check out more of my work, then please see the links in the description box below. Much love. Hello, group 2. So the first image that I'm getting is of a passed over dog, like a dog that has passed over into the other realm. I'm feeling that really strongly, and they want to come say hi. There's such an exuberance of love from them, and they want to say hi. And there's something as well about forgiveness. They want you to know that they forgive you. They want you to forgive yourself for something. There's something about, okay, so this is just the first message coming through. Keep in mind, this group will have more than this, but it's just coming through really strongly. It's a dog. They're very loving. They're very excited to see you. I'm seeing them licking your face and kind of like bowling you over, like you're kind of falling over with the extent of love that they're putting onto you. And they want you to know that they're happy on the other side, and that they love you, and that they want you to forgive yourself for something. Like, there's something that you might be holding on to, or you might be judging yourself for something to do with them, to do with something about the way you were there or not there for them, something like this. And they just want you to know all is well, all is well, all is well. And that you can let go of anything that might be kind of haunting you about this. They really want you to know that they're happy and they're still with you. They're still with you. They love you and they want to be with you. I feel for some of you, this could be a dog that you had in childhood as well, like kind of during a really pure time in your life. Something about they were there, like they were placed there in your life to bring you love in a home that maybe there wasn't much love. There wasn't a lot of love there. Or a space, something where they were able to access and bring you love in ways that people in your life weren't able to. So I feel like maybe sometimes you might feel indebted to them or something, where you might feel like, I wasn't there enough for them because I was so focused on my life and, I was a kid or a teenager or I was busy or something. And they're saying all is well, all is as it was meant to be, and they just really love you and they want you to know that. There also might be a sadness in you about this because I'm seeing something about this dog reflected like your inner child as well. Like you saw that this dog was maybe had sickness or health issues or had some kind of trauma or anxiety or something, depression, and you felt that was a reflection of how you felt in that home or something like this. So they want you to know that it's okay. Like I feel a sense like you wanted to protect them, you wanted to save them, or you feel guilty or something about something that happened. And they really want you to forgive yourself for this because it's not how they see you. It's not how they see you. It's not how they want you to see yourself. It's not how they want you to see their connection, the connection that you have with them. And they just really want you to trust and know that they are happy. They're really, really happy. And they're really happy to see you and connect with you, okay? So let's pull some cards. Moving on into more general messages, Spirit, what does Group 2's animal friend want them to know, okay? That was just a really specific message that came through first and foremost. Let's see. Find a balance. Interesting. This card's come up before. Let's get a few more. What does this animal friend want them to know, Spirit? Lighten up. That's right. Lighten up. It's okay. Everything is okay. Release control. Okay, so this could also be about a current animal friend. Okay, make time for self-love. Interesting. I'm just going to keep pulling up because they're coming through. It might be that you feel like, I'm feeling a sense like maybe you have a current animal and you feel like you can't give them enough of your time because like life, right? Okay, look at this wisdom they're coming through with. Focus on the positive. Okay, so it's like something's going on. Oh my gosh, leave the past behind. Are you serious? That just keeps on coming through. Look, forgive. That's exactly what I was feeling. They want you to forgive. This goes for it doesn't have to be a dog spirit. It doesn't even have to be a passed over spirit. This could be cat. This could be a dog. This could be any kind of animal I feel like it's one of those ones we would call like a pet. I was saying in group 1 that I don't know how I feel about the term pet because I feel like it's more of a companion, like it's a partnership, you know what I mean? It's an equal kind of energy exchange. But anyway, this is an animal that you would call as a pet. They might have been in your life already, or they might still be in your life. You might have had to pass them on to another home, or they have moved on to, another dimension of existence. And there's something about they want you to forgive yourself for it. Like maybe you still have some reservations about things that went down, or like it's sort of like I'm feeling someone having guilt about having to rehome an animal, or feeling guilt about, like I said, a childhood animal that maybe they didn't feel like they spent enough time with, or they didn't appreciate them enough at the time, and then now they're gone and they're sad. Or if you have had an animal pass on, maybe you're feeling like, well, maybe I could have done more, like to help them or to help their health, or so they could have lived longer. And this animal, they want to come through and say, hey, like all is well. This is how it was meant to be. This is part of the plan. Like they really want you to lighten up in your energy and to love yourself and to realize that what you've done has always been in alignment, to release control and to recognize that we can't always control things. There are cycles, in the universe that is deeper and bigger than us. Just like the tides, they come and they go. They come and they go. And we can't really fight them. We can't fight these cycles. So they're saying that they were part of a cycle. Look, The cycles of the tides, exactly. It's like the tides get pulled in and they come out again. They get pulled in, they come back out again. So it's like there's some cycle that they've been a part of that they want you to forgive yourself for, because it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your responsibility. And even if you kind of know this at some level, they're saying that at some deeper level, you're still holding on to this as if it's your fault, or you're still judging yourself or not forgiving yourself, not letting yourself off the hook for something. They really want you to love yourself and forgive yourself and know that everything's part of a greater cycle. These tides, they come in and they go, and they're saying that they were just swept up in one of those tides, and that's just how it was meant to be, and that's how it was always meant to be. So as well, if this animal is still in your life, I know it's been heavy on the departed animal kind of thing, but if they are still in your life, they want you to focus on the positive and to realize that it's okay, like that whatever's going on, like I feel like you carry a lot of guilt. Okay. You know how they talk about like mom guilt or dad guilt? Like when you have a kid and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to spend more time with them. Or it's that kind of energy that I'm getting. It's like you have mom guilt or dad guilt about an animal that's either still in your life or was in your life. And they want you to just let it go and forgive yourself. And they want you to love yourself the way that they love you and lighten up and be like, you know what, it's okay. It's okay. Because I feel like you're too harsh on yourself, and they can really see this in you. And they say that it blocks the flow of love between you both, because you're still connected in the astral, right? Whether they're in your life still or not, you're still connected in the astral. And they have a really playful energy with this Leo card, lighten up. It's like they want to play with you. They want to play with you in the astral. But it's like these emotions that are like kind of blocking this flow. They really want you to just love yourself and forgive yourself for something. And just to know that, it's okay. Like it's okay. They really want you to release control for things that have gone down and to leave the past behind, because these emotions are getting in the way of your connection, either in the present or in the astral. And they want you to focus on the positive. Like they're saying they love their life. They love their time with you. They wouldn't change anything. They love you unconditionally. They accept it. They accept everything for how it was. And this is the wisdom of animals that is like so deep and so beautiful and so precious, is because they do just accept things. They aren't judging you, okay? You are the one judging you. Like they are not judging you for things. Like, yes, sure, sometimes they have feelings and they go through things, right? But they aren't adding that layer of judgment or resentment or, hatred or something. It's like you're doing that to yourself. And I feel this sense of like, they really want you to like heal this and love yourself and be like, it's okay. Whatever happened is okay. It was meant to happen, okay? And it was all part of a deeper cycle. And if there are things, sometimes animals reflect to us. Like sometimes we have mom guilt or dad guilt or whatever with our animals, because they're actually reflecting something to us that's true. And that's okay, but we can accept that as true. Like, for example, if we're like, oh, I really need to spend more time with my animal love, with my fur baby. It's like, well, that might be true. But that doesn't mean you have to be so hard on yourself about it, or be so mean to yourself about it, or be like, gosh, I'm not good enough and this kind of thing. Because I'm seeing this animal is like really here to teach you about forgiveness. Oh man, now I'm getting into my feelings. I can feel the grief now of like, you really letting this message in and realizing that they already forgive you. They want you to let this in. They want you to let this love in, this forgiveness in, because animals are such teachers, and they're so able to help us. They're so able to help us with the things in us that we are still healing. They often will show us and reflect to us. It's like, oh, I struggle to have a routine. And it's like, this animal is going to show you that, right? They're going to be like, what the heck? Where's my dinner? I want my dinner every night. Or it's like, oh, I struggle to be in the present moment and not just distract myself. Well, this animal is going to show you that. They're going to be there and want your attention and be like, hey, why aren't you bringing me love, right? So it's like, I feel like there's something here about, yes, this animal has showed you something. They've shown you something that you're meant to heal, that you're meant to kind of, I don't know, I guess like improve upon, right? We're always kind of improving who we are and how we are. And sometimes things are in our blind spot, and it's an animal being that can show us that blind spot, and that can show us that from the deepest place of love. And that's what they want you to remember, is that they are coming at you from such deep love, and they want you to meet them there. And this stuff where you don't forgive yourself for it, that gets in the way of you really meeting them there. They want you to know as well that like they're a sovereign being. They're a sovereign being. Like you're not fully responsible for what their experience is. There's something about this. Like they have their own mission, their own plan. you are not fully responsible. Like, for example, if you had to, like, if for some reason I'm getting rehome, like if you had to rehome, they're like, that was part of their life's plan. That was part of their soul's intention for their lifetime. That's not, you don't have to feel like you were responsible. Release control, because it was actually something bigger. You can focus on the positive. You can leave the past behind and realize this was in the highest good of all that this happened. Or, for example, if you've had a fur baby pass on, they've died, I feel the grief of that. But again, they want you to know that that wasn't your fault. You did not cause that to happen, okay? There's something about it was still a part of a bigger plan, and they are here to teach you. Like, I feel like this connection that with this animal, that being that you are with, they really teach you. They're really here to teach you, and you teach them as well. You've shown them a lot, and they've learned from you. But the thing that they want you to know is that you can let the love in, like let the love in fully. And the way you do that is through forgiving yourself, through leaving the past behind, and through realizing that anything that happened, there was a deeper cycle here. There was a deeper cycle of the tides of going in and out, in and out. There was something deeper at play, and it wasn't your fault. Like, I keep hearing that from them. It wasn't your fault. You can release control, because with the control thing, like when we think something's our fault, we feel like we have control over it, But there are so many things in life that we actually do not have control over, just like the seasons. We can't control if it goes from, winter into spring. We can't control that. It just happens, right? It happens in these wider cycles. The temperature warms, the snow melts, the life comes back to the land. That's a deeper cycle that you do not necessarily have control over. You are just experiencing it, just like all other beings in nature are also experiencing it. And that's how they see things that have happened between you. That's how they see it. And I feel like there might also be sadness in you because you feel some level of sacrifice, maybe. Like, I'm going back to that feeling of if you had an animal being with you when you were a child and you feel like maybe they sacrificed to be with you, because I feel like that if you had an animal being with you as a child, like a dog or a cat or something, they were there for you, okay? In your family, that's what I'm seeing. They were there for you. Yes, they served everyone else in your family and they brought love and these things, but it was you that they were there for, because you had a certain consciousness that needed a certain level of love that your family wasn't able to give you for whatever reasons. For whatever reasons, that's what they were there to do. And I feel like you might feel sadness because you feel the sacrifice energy in them. Like, they sacrificed more happy home, so that they could be with you in your unhappy home. And it's like, this stuff, it makes me cry so much. But it's like they want you to forgive yourself for that and know that that was their decision. They are a sovereign being. They chose this. They chose that mission for a reason. And it's not your fault. Release control. It's not your fault. Leave the past behind. What happened, and focus on the positive. Focus on the beauty that you shared together in that home. The love that you were able to have. It really does, move my heart space when I tune into this feeling, because it's such a high frequency of love. They just really want you to feel that love and to release any block that keeps you from feeling that love. I feel that they are here to teach you through some form of sacrifice. Like, gosh, it's really deep, because I keep getting the image of animals that you have with you when you're a child. And I know most of us, I know everyone's different, but a lot of us did not have a very happy home life when we were children, right? It wasn't the easiest place to be. And I feel this animal being there to help uplift you and to help bring you that love when no one else maybe could bring that essence of soul love to you. And I feel this sense of sacrifice, like that animal sacrificed, also being in that home and maybe dealing with, neglect or whatever. And I feel you feel this sense of responsibility, because I think at some level you know that they were there for you, that it was your soul contract they were there for, because you are the high frequency one in your home. And they really want you to forgive yourself for this and be like, it's okay. And everything that happened was a soul, like there's some kind of a soul contract between you both where it played out the way that it was meant to, and they want you to release control for it and to focus on the positive. Leave the past behind and focus on the positive. Focus on the love that you shared and focus on the love that they have for you so that you can let more of that love in for yourself. Yeah, so forgive yourself. And if you have an animal in your present life, which I know a lot of you do, then release the mom guilt or the dad guilt, okay? For like, I'm not a good enough person, for my animal, for my fur baby. It's like, because they're saying, yes, you are. You're 100% good enough. Like, focus on the positive. You are good enough. I feel like this sense of guilt and stuff, it comes from your past. It comes from your trauma. And it's like, I know that when we have trauma, sometimes it impacts those we love without us we don't want it to, but it still can. It can impact our animals, our children, our loved ones, our partners, our friends, whatever it might be, our relationships in general are all impacted by trauma, because trauma tends to happen relationally. It happens through relationships. Therefore, it's also healed through relationships, right? So we're traumatized through our relationships, but then we also heal through our relationships. So I feel like you're being way too hard on yourself about things that you've gone through, or ways that you haven't been able to show up, or things like this. And they're saying, hey, I already forgive you for this. So it's like, it's all you. It's all for you to just let it go and to release it. It's an inner shift to let it go, to release it, and to come home to love again. Because you can 100% do this. They want you to lighten up. They love your playful energy, okay? They love it when you're playful, when you're gleeful, when you're joyful, when you're like, having fun and playing and engaging with them in that way. That's what they love. They love that lightness in you. They love that playful spirit in you. And again, I get this really strong child energy. So it's like, if you were a child with an animal, they loved you for who you were, and they didn't expect you to be any way different. And sometimes when we grow up as adults, we can look back and be like, oh, I wish that I'd spent more time with my dog. Why wasn't I there for them more? But they're saying it's all perfect. It's okay. Like, love yourself. It's all good. So, my gosh, group 2. The message is, find a balance. Like, this is karma, okay? There's some kind of karmic energy between you and this animal that they want you to resolve. Like, it's unresolved, even if they are long deceased, or even if they're still in your life. And the way to resolve it is to forgive yourself and to realize that they genuinely love you without any conditions. Without any conditions, they love you. They love you so much. And they want you to feel that love. And what blocks the flow of love is our inability to forgive or to leave the past behind. So they're saying that they are a vessel. Like, the relationship that you have with this animal is a vessel for your healing. Like, it's such a deep, deep, deep vessel for your healing. And it's about learning about letting go. I really feel that, like, learning about releasing control and letting go, and allowing the flow of life, the tides of life to come and to go, to come and to go. So if they did pass on, as hard as that is, that there was some meaning to this. There was some meaning to this, that it was meant to happen at this time, because it would bring such a deep healing to your soul, because it would shift energy within you, and it would kind of bring you into a greater sense of alignment and a greater sense of love, uplift your consciousness through the love that you feel. And sometimes we don't realize how deeply we love someone until they are gone out of our life, So if you are going through grief, they want you to know that they are with you, that they are loving you, and that the more that you forgive yourself for whatever you might be judging yourself for, the more that you can let them in, let their spirit in, and let them love you again. Because I just feel this sense of you weren't make time for self-love. It's like there wasn't enough love coming in, and they really want this. So open up to that, find a balance. Open up to that through letting go of the past, through releasing anything that you need to release, through forgiving yourself, through releasing control and realizing that all was in a divine plan. They really want you to focus on the positive, to lighten up, because they love this side of you when you're playful and loving. And I feel this sense of they are with you. They are with you. And if they are in your life now, they really want you to know that they never judge you, ever. They never judge you. It doesn't even cross their mind to judge you. They just accept you as you are. And any kind of reflections that you receive from them of like, oh, maybe I should, slow down or be more present or whatever, they don't judge you for that though. It's just the nature of your connection. It will heal things in you, and it will bring things into your perception. It will bring things into your awareness. So there's some kind of energy of like they have... Why do I want to say they have sacrificed something? Like, there's something about this. They've sacrificed something for love. Like, the best way that I can articulate it is a child growing up in an abusive home environment or a neglectful home environment where they are really cut off from divine love. Their parents buy them a puppy or a cat or a kitten. And that animal becomes their source of divine love. And that animal, in order to fulfill their mission, oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps. In order to fulfill their mission, they also had to endure that home environment that was absent of love or neglectful or abusive in some way. But they did that out of great love. They sacrificed their own sort of like well-being in order to be with that child and to bring them that sense of love and connection. So Spirit's saying to, like, for example, to forgive yourself for that. Okay, to forgive yourself for that animal's choice, that soul's choice. That soul is sovereign. They can choose what they want to choose. And they chose out of love, and they remained in love. You know, that's the thing with animals, is that they can go through so much that would break a human, but they still stay in love. They still know how to stay and remain in love. And when this soul passed on, if they have passed on, they did so with love. Or if they transitioned to a new home, they did so with the utmost love. It was all love. They really want you to see that. Okay, group number 2. Those are your messages. I'm sending you so much love on your journey. And if you would like to check out more of my work, please see all of the links in the description box below. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. So let's have a look. What does your animal friend want you to know? Let's see. Physical health, grounding, and foundations. Okay. I'm going to pull a few more. What does your animal friend want you to know? Okay, we have the goblin. The wounded human ego. Interesting. We have letting go. We have wealth. And risk. Interesting. This feels slightly similar to the last group, but different all the same. I just had to turn some lights on because it's getting really dark because it's so rainy here. Let me just pull 2 more, okay? The Grail Knight, romance, illusion, seeking the sacred. And 1 more for risk. Alchemy, justice, and balance. Back of the deck, we got the cat. So this could be about a cat. Doesn't have to be, though. There's something here about, you know, it's interesting because I feel kind of a similar energy to group 2 in that I feel there's something about this animal spirit wants you to let go of something. They want you to let go of something that you aren't seeing clearly about them, about their connection, about the way that you've shown up for them, perhaps. I feel a sense of like you feel guilty or something about that you made a mistake or that you wronged them in some way, or that you just weren't quite good enough or something. And they really want to clear this up for you and say that's not true. That's not how they see you. That's not how it was. There's something about mistakes are perfect. Like the way that we make mistakes is actually perfect, and it's a way that we grow. It's a way that we evolve, and they want you to see it in a different way, because if you saw it from the highest perspective, if you saw it from source, directly from the eyes of source, then you wouldn't feel this way. Like this, something about your perception where you're being really hard on yourself. It comes from the goblin, the wounded human ego. It comes from the human ego. It does not come from spirit or from source. And suddenly this sort of, I know that in the psyche of humans, there can be this sense of being punished by God. We can think, oh, I've done something wrong, therefore I'm punished. And you know, we can feel this real sense of like, we're going to get in trouble, kind of like an authoritarian parent or something punishing a child for like doing the wrong thing. But it's like there's a real gentle energy coming through this animal spirit where they're showing you a higher perspective. They're showing you a higher perspective where you are not punished if you make a mistake. You are not punished if you if something doesn't work out well, or it doesn't go the way you want it to, or you feel that you're not good enough, or you've fallen short in some way. That's actually just necessarily part of the plan. It's part of the duality of this place. And they really want you to forgive yourself for the fact that they've gone through duality. I think maybe you have a very protective energy with the Grail Knight. Like, you have such a deeply protective and loving energy that you never want to see a being suffer. Like, you don't want to see an animal go through something. You don't want to see them suffer. And you might feel this real heightened sense of responsibility if this animal going through life with you has had to go through the ups and downs that you've gone through in life. I feel this sense of like they want you to let go of that perception or that perspective, because that they feel that they've chosen this as well, and that they kind of knew what they were getting themselves into. There's something about that where it's like the perception that you're having is from the wounding. It's from the wounded part of you, but they don't see you that way, and they don't see the life plan that way that you have unfolded together. I feel this sense from you, like you really want to protect this animal being. You want to make sure they're safe, that they're happy, that they're well fed, that they're looked after, that they have the best life, because you can see for them, like they deserve the world. You know, I really feel this overflowing of love where it's like, yeah, you want to give them the world. You want to give them everything. You want to spoil them. You want to make them the happiest animal in the world kind of thing. And sometimes life has not been able to do that. You know, life happens, especially human life happens, and then that impacts our animals, right? We might have to move, or relationships break down, or we have tragedies happen, or you might have had a health crisis happen. And I feel this sense like they want you to shift your perception, because your perception is right now where you're being really hard on yourself, and you're not like kind of forgiving yourself for the fact that we are in duality. And these things happen, and they can take us by surprise, and they can break our hearts. And, you know, we can't really control these things. They want you to know as well that like they were part of a deeper plan here. Like they evolved into this role that they're playing right now. They evolved into this role. See, I didn't even mean to say that, but that's what came out of my mouth because that's what Spirit wanted to say. They evolved into this role. Like they are a high level being and they can handle it. That's what they want you to know. Like they know that you see them as like a little baby. I'm hearing little baby angel. You're my little baby angel. Like I feel like you really feel that they are your fur baby. But they also want you to see that they are powerful and they are strong. You know, like they have the ability to alchemize and to fall back into balance. Look, the dragon on this card as well. It's like they're okay. They want you to know that they're more okay than you think. And I feel like you have such a deep empathy with the Grail Knight as well. It's like you just love them so much. You just want to give them everything. You want to give them the world. And when duality comes in and things go off plan, or, you know, life happens, I feel you're really hard on yourself about that. And you're really, really hard on yourself in terms of really not wanting this animal being to suffer. You're like, oh, I want them to have zero suffering at all. And they're kind of telling you like, hey, I'm in duality as well. Like, I know what it's like here. I chose this. I signed up for this. I know that I'm going to suffer to some extent. Like we all do. We are in duality and we are moving towards unity consciousness. And animals certainly are incredible at, you know, holding that space of unconditional love, which is a part of unity consciousness. But they also have to go through duality as well. So they're kind of reminding you of a divine plan. Like they want you to come up and look at from the highest perspective, from source, through the eyes of source, through the eyes of spirit, through the eyes of love, looking at your life, looking at things that have happened, and understanding that there was a deeper, there's deeper cycles at play, there's deeper movements at play. And they really want you to let go of this real harshness that you might have towards yourself, where you're like, oh, I failed them because I didn't protect them, or I didn't save them from something, or, you know, they had to go through all of this turmoil with me, or this huge life event with me, you know, or they've had to, like, there's a sense, like, I really feel a real, like, kind of parental energy from you, where it's like, you really, I feel like this group especially, like, you really see them as your baby. You're like, you are my baby. You are my baby angel. And I love you. And they're like, yes, I am your baby angel. They're saying to you, but I'm also a sovereign soul, okay? And I can handle things. Like, they love being your little baby angel. They want to be your little baby angel, but they also like saying to you, but I'm also stronger than you give me credit for sometimes, or I'm also able, like, far more capable of adapting or of dealing with things. And I feel this like almost overly protective energy where it's like you don't want them to ever hurt anything. Like you don't want them to ever hurt or ever be in pain or ever have to suffer or ever have anything in life like go bad. And it's this, and it comes from such a beautiful energy. Like they really love this about you because you really care about them and you go out of your way. Like, you go above and beyond to care for them and to make sure that they are always safe, that they are cared for, that they have what they need, that they're provided for. And you do go above and you do go above and beyond as well to like prevent any unnecessary pain. Like, you don't want them to go through pain and you try to shield them from that. But I also feel like they kind of also want to say to you that you can start seeing them more in their power. You can start seeing them more in their power and more in their ability to kind of go through life with you. Like, they kind of want to be more like your partner in a way. They love being your baby and your little fur baby. But they also are like, hey, I've got wisdom as well. Like, they kind of feel... sometimes you underestimate them or you underestimate their ability to go through life because it's like they are not new to the earth plane. Like, I feel like this soul that you have with you, this animal soul, they've been on earth before. Like, they've been around around in those incarnational cycles for a while. So it's like they know what it's like. They don't blame you for this. Like, oh man, making my heart like ache from love. This is so beautiful because they're saying like, duality is not your fault. Like, they are in this with you. They are with you. They are with you in this. They are partnered with you in this. It's not that they see it as like, this is happening to me because of you. No, they understand like you are both in this dimension of duality. So it is happening to you both. And they really want you to know that they're there for you. Like, that you don't have to feel like you always have to be there for them, because they're kind of saying that it's different to a child. Like, they're saying that they are different to a child. And maybe you have children as well, I'm not sure. Because I do feel a very strong parental energy in you that's really beautiful and protective. But they're saying that like they are not technically your child. Like, they are your animal friend. That's different. And they want you to kind of treat them differently in a way. Like, not hugely, but this is the thing they want you to know about, is that you treat them like kind of in the same way that a parent treats a child, where it's like, I have responsibility over you, I have to protect you, I have to make sure that you have the things you need in life and stuff like that, which is true for our animal beings as well. But there's also kind of a wisdom within this animal that they're saying sometimes you miss this because you baby them so much. And they're like, I'm actually really freaking powerful, man. That's what they're saying with this alchemy, justice, balance. It's like, take a risk and like let them have their power. Let them let yourself see their power, because they understand duality better than you realize. Like, I think that this need in you to protect them and to try to keep them from suffering and shield them from suffering, like, they're saying that it's gotten to the point where this dynamic isn't right. Like, this dynamic isn't quite balanced anymore. They want to bring it back into balance where they understand this earth. They understand the earth fairy. It's like they have such deep wisdom about this earth and about the way that we alchemize and the justice, the like cause and effect, the karma. Like, they are so freaking wise and like incredible. Okay. And they are so incredible. And they want you to kind of elevate in your perception to see that they are more like equal to you in this experience, because obviously a parent-child, it's not equal, right? It's like, obviously there is like the parent needs to protect the child. And I'm not saying that you're not meant to protect them and stuff, but they're saying that there's something about there's a perception in you that's become a little bit distorted, and it comes from this wounding and this sense of being overly protective and like not wanting them to ever hurt. And they're saying like, hey, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. They understand duality. They understand what they signed up for, and they're not mad about it. They're not mad at you for it. Okay. Maybe they sometimes get mad at you, but I'm saying like their soul is not mad at you. Their soul is not holding anything against you. Their soul understands, and they understand it really deeply actually. And like kind of really well in a way. So they see you as super abundant, and they want you to know that they recognize and honor like everything that you've given to them. Like, I feel like sometimes you underestimate yourself. They're saying that you underestimate how much you give and offer and how like deeply that you love. And I think that sometimes you still think that it's not enough. And they are like, this is mind blowing to them, because they're like, how could you possibly think that it's not enough? Like, you've given them the world and then some. Like, you've literally gone above and beyond. I keep hearing that, to make sure that they are happy and safe and loved and cared for. And so they're saying like, why would you think that you would fall short? That's coming from wounding, that's coming from trauma, because you have not fallen short in any way. Yes, life has happened. And I see this group, especially that you've gone through some stuff in life that's been really hard, like really hard. And maybe you've gone through periods in time where you've had like fallen into deep depression or something like this, where it's been like really hard for you to actually get up every day and like fight and live another day and things like this. And they've seen you go through this and they do not judge you for it. Like they want you to let go of your judgment towards yourself because they do not judge you for this. They love you for this. And they knew this when they came into your life. They knew what they were signing up for. They want you to know that. Because I feel like sometimes you're like, oh gosh, what have I done? Like I feel like you judge yourself way too harshly, and they really feel this from you. And they wish that they could just say this directly to you sometimes and be like, oh my gosh, like just let it go. It's fine. I'm fine. But you're really hard on yourself, and they just want to take this away from you. They want to take this pain away from you and they want you to recognize that they are okay and that it's okay. Because they really have so much compassion for you with what you've gone through in life. Like they really see you. They see the cycles you've gone through, and maybe you've had relationship breakdowns, or you've had, I don't know, just really tough things happen to you in life. Maybe health, mental health, or, even housing, relationships. Lots of different things can come in and like rock our world for us. And they see this. They see this. They understand this. They understand that it's not your fault, and that life happens, and that things move and change and flow and are in flux. So I feel like you have this, they're kind of saying you've set yourself an impossible task where it's like you want to protect them from duality at all costs. But it's like, how can you protect them from duality when we are living in the dimension of duality, right? It's like, that's kind of impossible. So it's like, of course you would feel like you fall short if you set yourself an impossible task. And they really want you to like work on this perfectionism, and this perception that you have where you feel like you're not good enough, because they're like, this is not true. This is totally untrue. And they're actually mind blown that you would think that. Like, that's how they're showing up to me. They're like, how could they possibly think that? And I'm like, I know, right? It's like that. They're like, how could they possibly think that they're not good enough when they've given me so much, like this wealth? They really want you to see them in their power and recognize, yes, they are your little baby angel and they want to be, but they are also a powerful, badass soul that came here in duality for a mission, and they are able to love and be strong in ways that gives me goosebumps. Like, it seriously does. They are a powerful being of love and light, and they want you to see that and recognize that they're okay. They are actually okay. And they're enjoying their life. Like, also, this could easily be a passed on spirit, by the way, for those of you who resonate more with this being a spirit from the past. Easily could be, because it comes through kind of in a similar way. But if they are still in your life, like, they really want you to know they're really loving life. Like, they really enjoy duality in a kind of messed up way. Like, they know duality is kind of messed up and it's like really weird. And obviously sometimes it's a lot of suffering and stuff like this. But there's something about this soul you have with you, or that you had with you. They already know about it. Like, that's what I'm hearing. I already know about it. I already know about it. They want you to realize that they already know about it. They already know about duality. They already know about what life is like on this earth plane. They are the earth fairy. They've been here before, okay? They've been here many, many times before. And I feel like they've existed. They're a really wise soul, like super wise. They've existed as plants, trees, animals. They've existed as water spirits, as fairies. I don't know how many human lifetimes they've had, actually. They might have had human lifetimes as well, but I feel a really strong kind of like elemental energy from them, because we got the earth fairy as well as their first card. It's like, I feel like they've lived lives as fairies, or as elemental spirits of the water, of the fire, of the land, or they've lived as trees, or as birds, other forms of animal life. Or, like I said, the consciousness of a stream, like they have incarnated as that. It's like something really deep and profound. Like, they are such a profound and wise soul. And they're like, hey, remember that? Because I feel like you do see them. I feel like you guys have a psychic connection. And they are like, they want you to trust in their wisdom more and in their ability to enjoy this earth plane, because they're like, hey, I've been here many times before, I've been here heaps of times, like they're saying that. They're saying they've been heaps of times. And they're saying that the more that you work on this perception shift, where you see them in their power and you realize that it's not your job to protect them from duality when they are living in duality. That is an impossible task. Like, that is impossible. Until we are in non-duality and we're in unity, there is no way that a being cannot experience duality, right? It's like we can do our best to make it the best possible experience of duality for this being that we have control over. But there are also things that we do not have control over that is like bigger. And I see you taking responsibility for things that aren't your fault and that you do not have control over. It's not your responsibility. And I see you taking that on and feeling all of this burden and this heaviness for things that's like, it's not your fault though. They really want you to know that. They really want you to know they have been on Earth many times before. They know what this dimension is like. They know that it's not your fault when things happen and it manifests and you're like, oh no, now I have to, go through this, or you're feeling down, or you're going through heartbreak, or whatever it might be. They understand, and they want you to let that love in, that wisdom in that they have. They want you to see them in their wisdom and in their power. And they want you to know that they love you so much. They love you unconditionally, and that they would never hold anything against you, especially things that is genuinely not your fault. Like, even if it was your fault, they still wouldn't hold it against you because they're at an elevated frequency of love where that's just not how they operate. So they really want this sort of like human wounding part of you to dissolve so that you can just receive more of their love and have more of their love, and that you can come together in a more pure exchange of love. And I feel like as well, they want to elevate more into a partnership. They don't want you to feel responsible. Like, again, I'm seeing this parent-child dynamic that they're kind of saying like they enjoy it, but they also want you to see them simultaneously also as a wise being, because they are a wise one. They are an old soul. They are actually really deeply connected to this earth as well. Like, I feel like as well, they might recognize that your soul's energy has either also been on this earth many times. Like, you might be an ancient earth soul and you've been through so many incarnations on this earth and you've experienced kind of all of the different consciousnesses. Or you might identify more as a starseed, where it's like you just got dropped in here from another realm of existence, from another universe even. And you're kind of like, whoa, I'm here on this earth, and it might be kind of new to you, and you might feel like you're it's new to your experience. So it's like, I either feel like you're super ancient. I mean, you're an old soul regardless, but I just mean you either have ancient ties to this earth and you've been here through many, many cycles of Earth's existence, through many forms of consciousness, just like this animal being, or you're like very new and you're a starseed kind of cosmic being, and you're like, whoa, this place is crazy, man. And they see this in you, whichever one it is for you. They see this in you and they're like, wow, they see your soul's energy, and they're kind of like, hey, you can like look at me and see my soul's energy too. They really want that because it's going to help them on their life path. Like, because they have their own mission and soul's intention for their lifetime. Yes, their mission is to be with you, or it has been to be with you, but there's also more here. There's more here for them. And they want you to kind of see the more. They want you to see the more. And I feel it from really this card here, where it's like they have alchemy, justice, and balance, where they're saying there's some kind of a new beginning. Card number 1. There's a new beginning from this reading. I feel like it's going to activate a new beginning for you, where you're going to be like, you know what? I see you, man. Like, I can see your power. Whoa, like, you're a freaking powerful soul. Like, I really see this. And you see the wisdom, and you see that ancient energy, how they've been on this earth for so many times. They understand what it's like, and they understand even how we got to this point of duality. Like, they understand things that is like mind-blowing me. Like, I'm like mind-blown right now as I'm tuning in with their wisdom, because it's like they understand that earth. They understand the cycle of non-duality into duality and then back into unity. It's like they understand this. They are here for it. Like, they're like, I'm down for this. I'm down for this ride. I'm here for it. I already know about it. Whereas like you're kind of treating them as if it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about this duality thing. I'm so sorry. And they're like, dude, I already knew about it. I've been here for like thousands of years. What are you talking about? So they have a sense of humor as well. So they're saying let go of that wounding, or that like kind of, because this card says romance, illusion, seeking the sacred. And it's like there's some kind of an illusion from the wounding where you're like, again, trying to protect them from duality, and they're like, let it go. I already know about duality. I've been here before. I've been here so many times. I already know about it. And I think this is going to mark like a really beautiful blossoming of a new beginning in your connection, where they're saying, hey, look at my wisdom. And like, I feel like guys might do like eye gazing, or you might just like, I don't know, lie with them in a meditation and kind of start receiving the truth of their soul and like seeing them more in their power. And I think that's really going to help them with their mission. Or if they have passed on, doing a meditation to connect with their soul, be shown their higher self, and you'll understand the purpose of your connection and your your mission together so much deeper at such a different perspective. So there's a huge perception shift here that's being offered to them, and it's beautiful. Like, offered by them to you. Yeah. The perception is being offered by them to you, and it's going to shift things, and it's going to bring you into like a greater sense of wisdom, and it's going to alchemize something that was holding you back. Like, this is a powerful soul. Like, you have a powerful soul with you, whether they are passed on or in present. Like, they are so powerful. Like, oh my God, it's giving me like goosebumps as I tune in with them. So they're saying like, hey, hello, let's work together. Okay, let's be partners. All right. All right, group 3, that is your reading today. I so hope you enjoyed it. And if you would like to check out more of my work, please see the links in the description box below. Thank you.